Hey guys, this is Web Naruto and Back in Time with Sasuke Part 5. Before the actual, what if slash video starts, I now have a Discord. It's pretty, just a basic Discord. It has a request section where you guys can, put in a what if or like a request to do a what if. And the way it works, just put in the title or what you want the title to be, like what if Naruto, blah blah blah, or what if Goku, blah blah. It doesn't have to be like Naruto related specifically. It can be basically any anime. But yeah, just put that in and then put in like if you want credit, like put in either your YouTube name, your Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you want as credit for that what if. But also make sure you put in what it's for. Like make sure if you put in like just a username, make sure you put either if it's for Twitch or for Instagram or whatever. Just make sure you specify what it's for, just so I know. And also, I've started streaming a bit, or I'm going to start streaming a bit. Already did. I streamed once on Friday, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop with what ifs or I'm gonna take a break off. Then doesn't mean anything. I'm still gonna continue uploading what ifs, and if I do stream, it's only gonna be really on a Friday or Saturday if I do stream. There are gonna be times where I'm just not gonna stream because I don't know for some reason. But yeah, all that aside, let's get back into the what if. So in the last video, what basically happened is Danzo was put into jail because Naruto showed the elders what Danzo has done and what he is going to do in the future, what he would have done in the future. And this is enough to land Danzo into jail, sealing his Sharingan and sealing his left arm or right arm, whatever arm he has those Sharingans in. So yeah, just basically sealing all those. And Tsunade is now elected as Hokage and was told the secret about Naruto being from the future and to trust Naruto a lot more. And so Tsunade agrees to all this, and Itachi is also allowed back in the village because they don't really need him to spy on the Akatsuki because Naruto knows most of their moves, most of their secrets, knows who they all are, their weak points, know most of their plans. So there's no point of what's called Itachi having to be in there or having the risk of dying or something like that. There's just like no point for him. And for the most part, Itachi is not actually allowed to go onto very a lot of missions. He's basically just allowed to be or to stay in the village, and he's allowed to go into his own private missions if he wants to, like missions that he himself wants, like to for himself, I guess, or like stuff along the lines. He's allowed to do that, and there are a few private missions that or missions that he is allowed to go on that are sent straight from the Hokage, mainly because, or like, okay, let me rephrase this. He's basically allowed to go onto select missions selected by the Hokage, and is only allowed to go with people that already know he's staying there, because him being there is basically a secret. Nobody really knows. Only a few higher ups like Naruto, Sasuke, of course, Tsunade, Third Hokage Hiruzen, the elders. I'm also gonna say Kakashi knows and also knows about, well, the secret, because Naruto would say he deserves to know because he was the Hokage at one point, and you know, and so he doesn't. Naruto doesn't tell Kakashi just yet he's from the future, but he does tell him about Itachi and why he did it and all that. And Sakura also knows. So yeah, there's a few people that actually know he's there, but for the most part, it's kept a secret, and nobody's allowed to basically tell. And I mentioned this I think in the last video or the video before this, but Naruto wanted the Konoha crush to happen. He instructed Orochimaru to not stop the Konoha crush, but to actually keep going, and also told Gaara to make sure to go insane or stuff like that. Just make sure he does the Konoha crush basically. And of course, it does happen. And the reason why Naruto did this is he made sure nobody actually got hurt, but he made sure people got injured. And this is so Naruto would be able to make shadow clones go all around the village and help out some of the citizens as villagers. I forgot what the actual names are or is for those people. But yeah, it's basically just a trick in order to learn or to earn their trust. Because I mean, for the most part, the village doesn't trust them, and so if they were to get injured and Naruto were to save a lot of lives and a lot of people, I think for the most part the villagers would trust him a lot more. So that's why Naruto did it. But he also again made sure nobody actually died, just so death wouldn't be on his hands or of an innocent person. So yeah, that's the reason why that happened, and it worked for the most part. A lot of villagers do now like him. Like it's a decent chunk that like him, but there are a lot of other villagers still don't like him or still treat him poorly. But there is a select few that are really thankful and now respect Naruto a lot more than they would have before. So yeah, and around this time, this would have been where Naruto and Sasuke would have had their fight on top of the root or on top of the hospital. You know, pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about. And this would have been around that time, but of course that is not gonna happen because you know, adult Naruto, adult Sasuke. It'd be pretty dumb if that happened. But yeah, so basically that doesn't happen, and again, Sasuke does not go rogue because, well, it's adult Sasuke. There's no point. But yeah, and instead of a 3-year training mark, or you know how Naruto went to go train with Jiraiya for around 3 years in order to get stronger, and and Sasuke went with Orochimaru and all that. Instead of those 3 years of training, there is gonna be 3 years of training, but it's not gonna be like that. Basically, Naruto wanted to go to different villages, basically, and different places and help out people and train himself to be able to use all the powers that has been given to him. And remember, Naruto at this point, the amount of chakra he has is wow. Because one, he's an Uzumaki. Two, he now has 100% of the Nine Tails. And if you're wondering how did he get 100%, if Minato still has his 50%, and that's because it was adult Naruto that transferred all of his what's it called? All of his chakra, you know, every single part. So 50% of the Nine Tails is what adult Naruto had, and Kid Naruto had the other 50% or another 50%. So if all of his chakra were to go into Kid Naruto, that 50% of the Nine Tails that was there before also got added in to Naruto's chakra now, equaling up to 100%. So that technically means there's 150% of what is it called? 150% of the Nine Tails chakra in total instead of just 100%. Same thing with there's 200% of every other what's called QB or not QB. You know what I mean? There's 200% of every single tailed beast now because Naruto has every single tailed beast, which is another thing, which is the third point I was going to make about him having a lot of chakra. He has every tailed beast right now, and which adds up to again a lot of chakra. And if he has 100% of those and 100% still are still in like everybody, like for example Killer Bee, he still has 100% of the eight tails, and Naruto also has the eight tails right now, so that's 200%, and it's like that for every single Jinchuriki or every single tailed beast basically. And so yeah, so those are like the main reasons why he has so much chakra. And also, if you guys don't remember, both Sasuke and Naruto were trapped in that dimension for around 100 or 1,000 years, somewhere in between. And so that gave them a lot of time. They trained, they did everything. A lot of rage basically fit them, and a lot of worry for their families. So they kept going, and that um, they basically overused chakra over and over again at the point where they started gaining more chakra and a lot more for like 1,000 years again. So both of them earned a lot of chakra from that, including Sasuke. He does have a lot now. So yeah, and he got permission from, or Naruto would have gone to Tsunade saying, or Naruto and Sasuke would have gone to Tsunade and asked for permission to leave the village in order to help out a few villages. And Tsunade would have asked, "What is this all for?" And Naruto says, "Well, chances are the Shinobi war, or the fourth Shinobi war. I cannot speak. Sorry. The fourth Shinobi war will still happen, or that's what Naruto would have said to Tsunade, that maybe it will still happen, and if it does, he wants to make sure every village is ready for it, just so there's no, or just so there's not as much death as there was before." And Tsunade starts asking Naruto about what a fourth Shinobi world, or I keep wanting to say world war, but I know it's just war, so I keep on like tongue twisting and like mixing the words together. So she asked, was he talking about a fourth Shinobi war? And Naruto kind of explains to Tsunade that a war broke out at one point, and there's a lot of casualties, and a lot of people end up dying because of it, and he just doesn't want to repeat what happened last time. So he wants to make sure a good amount of people are prepared. Plus, there's a group, and also said, plus there's a group called the Akatsuki that are going to be after all-tailed beast in order to revive the Ten Tails, which is an extremely powerful beast, far stronger than just about anything that you can imagine. And he wants to make sure that, or the sorry, I keep on switching between third and first person, but yeah. And Naruto would also said, and I want to make sure every tailed beast has or is protected, just so that doesn't happen again. I had a close friend die because of that, and because of the Akatsuki, I had another person die, someone very close to me that I saw as a father figure. And of course, Naruto is talking about Neji as his close friend, and Jiraiya as his father figure, because he mainly died due to the Akatsuki. So he wants to make sure that doesn't happen again. And so yeah, Naruto would have told Tsunade this, and Tsunade would allow permission in order to leave the village, because she can see why this is, or why what's it called? What's the word I'm thinking for? Why this is so important. And so yeah, she would have gave Naruto and Sasuke permission, and this is basically their 3 year um leave, like how they had in the kind of well, for Naruto. Except Jiraiya doesn't come. I kind of, I don't know, but I do kind of want Jiraiya and Itachi to come as, as a little bit of mentor, not mentors, but like, I don't know, just someone to be there. But I think for the most part, I think it's just gonna be Naruto and Sasuke. So yeah, both of them would have left the village, and Sasuke would have said goodbye to Sakura, and of course, they would hug, say goodbye, and Naruto would also say goodbye to Hinata, because, that's already happening, and yeah, just, there's a bunch of people basically at the gate. Most of the Rookie Nine are just there, and that's when, Naruto, I'm gonna say Naruto would whisper into Hinata's ear and say, "I love you," and then just start walking away, and Hinata would have fainted and just, like, fell. And with that, Naruto and Sasuke would leave, or would leave the village for a bit. No, not for a bit, but just leave the village. And so, Naruto would have basically, or both of them would have basically gone to just about every village that he can imagine, any ruins, see if there's any survivors that he can help out. And I'm also gonna say that eventually Naruto makes it to the Uzumaki village, and and in this village he was able to find Karen, Karin, whatever, you know who I'm talking about, the red-haired girl that uh likes Sasuke, you know. I'm talking about. So basically, they would have found her and her grandmother, and since Orochimaru never got to visit the Uzumaki, um, place, or he never really got to visit it at all. So she would have still been there, and I'm gonna say Naruto was able to find her and take her back to the village and go back to where he wanted, and go back on his journey. Sasuke, and he would have gone to most villages and talked to the Kage of that village and explained the ordeal, or basically explained who he is, what 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 he is doing there, and as proof, he would show him a few of his memories of the future of them and the Jinchuriki that he wants to train. And yeah, like every single time the Kage would have said, sure. And it's because the Kage can see, or it's because Naruto basically showed every Kage the war and everything that happened. And so the Kages would prioritize the Jinchuriki being trained over the enemy who's training them. And so doing this would create a bond with the Leaf Village and any village that he did this with. And of course, he did with Gara and I think it's like really done. Fu, I think. Um, yeah, I'm sorry, but like I just don't even remember any of the Jinchuriki's names. I just remember how they looked like, but I didn't pay attention to what their names were. But yeah, so Naruto would eventually make it to around or to the Cloud Village, and the Raikage wouldn't really want Naruto's help, and even after showing the memories, would have said that Killer B or B doesn't need any help, and Naruto would have went up to the Kage and say, "Are you sure? I know B has a few flaws, and I can help perfect him, make him better than who he is now, far stronger. I can show him a few different things. I can show you how powerful I am." And at this point, Naruto, again, he still has his bloodlust. He has a lot of bloodlust. I mean, do you guys remember he was stuck in, as I said earlier, in that dimension, having to kill and kill and kill a whole bunch of monsters to survive, and he absolutely hated the Otsutsuki clan at the point where he killed every single one of them out of bloodlust and out of pure rage. His whole entire family died. He saw remains of his family. So at this point, both Naruto and Sasuke would have had a lot of bloodlust, and I'm gonna say that he would have shown Raikage just a teeny bit, and this would send shivers down his spine. And Naruto would also say, if you don't, and that's still not enough for you, and he would activate his um KCM2 with Sage Mode, and that would give him the staff and the three, or not the three, but all the orbs around him. And the reason he can activate this is because I'm gonna say it's already been around 2 years. There's like one more year left, and the reason is because he's been all around the world. He's basically even been helping small villages that have problems, and he's basically been training all along the way. So at this point, pretty sure he'd be able to use KCM2 and Sage Mode and Sage Six Paths Mode, whatever it's called. You know what I'm talking about, during the war arc when he gets the staff and all the orbs and all that. He basically activates this and also tells the Raikage that also says, or also tells the Raikage, and I'm faster than you too. Want me to prove you this, or prove you this, or want me to prove that to you? And the Raikage is like, I don't believe you. Nobody has ever been faster than me except for the fourth Hokage. And Naruto says, oh, so my dad was faster than you. And Naruto basically also put his hand up to him and showed him a memory of him being faster than the Raikage. And he's doing this to intimidate him, because he has to do this in order to help Killer B, because even him, he's strong, but Naruto thinks he can be a lot stronger. And so The Raikage says, "Fine, I'll let you train him. I can see you're very worthy, and you're very strong, so I'll trust you. This doesn't mean I 100% trust the Leaf, but if you are for me, I will put a little bit more trust into them." And Naruto goes, "Okay, thank you." And Sasuke's waiting outside the Raikage's basically building, and waiting for Naruto. And then Naruto comes out, tells Sasuke that they said yes and would have trained Killer Bee for a good month until they thought he was ready enough. And at this point, he's basically helped him with a lot of chakra control, and any flaws that he had before are basically now perfected. I can't think of any flaws, but I'm just gonna say he's able to develop uh, a lot more moves, and it will create a even bigger bond, and is able to use a lot of the tailed beast or the eight tails power. So yeah, and he's basically been doing this with every single tailed beast and every single Jinchuriki. Any flaws that they had previously are now gone. And there's still a few months, or not a few months, like a good, because, yeah, just about a year still left. Again, that was only months, so like 11 months left. And Naruto would have visited Orochimaru because he came up with a small idea. And he would have gone up to Orochimaru, or no, I'm going to say he came up with this idea a few years ago. And would have told Orochimaru to start looking for one. And this plan is for Orochimaru to develop a new curse mark. And this curse mark, or Naruto wanted, okay, Naruto basically wanted this curse mark to be able to give the user of said curse mark a big boost in chakra and power, or in strength, or whatever you want to call it. But he doesn't want it to be powered by hatred or anything like that. He just wants it to be able to give the user a boost and just make, again, the user stronger than they would have already been. And he wants this for the shinobi, just in case, again, one, the fourth Great Ninja War, if that still happens. Two, 100% for the Otsutsuki members. Yeah. So, just in case, basically, he wants a boost, and he said this before he left, and now this is 1 year before he would have normally came back. And he would have gone back, but he wouldn't be seen by any of the villagers at all. He would only be seen, or he'd go straight to one of Orochimaru's lair where he's basically staying at, and would have asked him if he's come up with any sort of curse mark that would fit this. And Orochimaru says yes, but I don't know what to use for test subjects, mainly because I don't want to experiment on any of the people of Konoha just in case. But this one should more than likely work. And Naruto would have basically what is it called? Naruto would have made, I'm gonna say, made some sort of clone of himself, and this said clone would be able to take the curse mark, like it'd be able to handle it and give, and basically are able to see, Orochimaru and Sasuke and Naruto are basically able to see if, like, what big of a boost it gives you, if there's any drawbacks, and eventually you come to the conclusion that there are no drawbacks and only gains. It mainly helps out the what is it called? It mainly just boosts their chakra and what's it called, basically gives them a lot more strength and can be activated and deactivated. And Naruto also tells Orochimaru, if there's some sort of plan to betray me at one point, and you're using these curse marks as a way to be able to control them or control people more later on, I just want to tell you here and now, I'll be able to get rid of that curse mark no matter what. I've already gotten rid of a few of yours. I already found a way to get rid of the original curse mark that you have. I'll find a way to get rid of this one. And I do trust you, but I'm just saying this just in case. But I am putting a lot of faith into you. I thank you for this. And Orochimaru would say, "Don't worry, I don't plan on betraying you at all. I I'm getting used to living in Konoha again. You brought back my original team. You helped me complete my goal. I have too much respect for you in order to do that, and I'd rather just be a servant to you. You are a strong person and a good person, Naruto. And yeah, so then Naruto would have left the building, and oh no, before he left the building, I'm going to say that Naruto, or I'm going to say to let me let me rethink that. Sorry, Naruto would have went to Orochimaru and basically told Orochimaru to come up with some sort of cure, just in case something goes wrong with it, just so it basically gets rid of the curse mark or something, some sort of seal that would instantly get rid of it, just in case something were to happen to the user because of it. And so Orochimaru does find a way pretty quickly, and then Naruto goes back and they decide to start testing it out on actual people. And for the most part, they see this as safe and has had a clone use it and for a few months, and there's no drawbacks, only gains. And so Naruto, Orochimaru, Sasuke would have went to the what's it called Hokage's office and talked to Tsunade about this, and Tsunade trusts Naruto a lot because again, she's been told about everything. Has been told how Naruto in the future slash past was a basically a hero and saved Konoha many times and saved the world many times. He wasn't able to deal with the Otsutsuki's or anything like that, but he was still a really good hero. So of course Tsunade is gonna trust him a lot. And he gets some what's it called? Some shinobi that are willing to go through this and are basically given a curse mark on like kind of on their back. It isn't that big, it's just kind of like a small dot. It's a curse mark. And they're required to have this on for a few months just to make sure that there's no drawbacks. And while all this is going, while all this is happening, Naruto then leaves the village and goes back onto his journey and goes to each or a bunch of different villages, small and big, and basically just helps out any problems that are there. And after that year's over, Naruto finally officially comes back. And Naruto and Sasuke get to the gate, and the two guards are sitting there going, "No way, it's Naruto and Sasuke. I haven't seen you guys in a while because every single time they came in to to Konoha, they basically just snuck in. They never came in through the gates or anything like that. So yeah, um, Naruto then basically they automatically go to the Hokage's office, and Naruto starts ask, or both Naruto. I'm gonna say this time, Sasuke would ask, how are how's the experiment going with the curse mark? And Tsunade says, great, it's been amazing. We've also put on a bit more shinobis because after a few months, we learned that the user actually kind of gets used to the curse mark, and once they get used to it, they can control how much power they want. They can control it to a certain degree. And Tsunade also explains to them that they found out the stronger a person is before and their chakra, the stronger or the more of a boost it will give you. The weaker you are, the less of a boost it will give you. But either way, it still gives you some sort of boost that will make you stronger. And Naruto will chime in and say, "That's amazing. That's great. It'll help out perfectly." And Tsunade agrees and thanks Naruto for coming up with the idea. And Naruto says, "Well, it was also Sasuke's idea. And Orochimaru was the main person that actually, you know, made the curse mark." And Naruto says, and Tsunade says, "Yes, I know. I already thanked him. Now it's time to thank you, Sasuke." And we'll say just thank you, and we'll say thank you to Naruto as well. And with that, they both or Naruto would ask Sasuke, "Hey Sasuke, do you want to go get a bite at Ichiraku Ramen?" And So of course both of them, or of course Sasuke would agree, and they'd go and get ramen. And while they're there, they hear a group of people like just walking past, and what's called, and of course Naruto's and Sasuke, both Naruto and Sasuke are basically speaking pretty loud right now. And as that group walks past, there's one person that goes, "Wait a minute, guys, did you guys hear that?" And Naruto, of course, both of them would just be gulping down ramen. Mainly Naruto. Sasuke would be eating it a little bit slowly, but Naruto would just be eating and eating and eating. And yeah, and before they, or right when they came in, before that quote unquote group of people walked by, um, basically the ramen guy would have given them free ramen because they haven't seen them in a while, and they miss Naruto and Sasuke as both customers. Because remember, they switched back when they were little kids, like little kids, and so they also grew up with the ramen guy. Because Naruto would always want ramen, and Sasuke would always tag along. But remember, they also ate like normal, healthy food, but Naruto just really liked ramen. And so yeah, let's go back into that part. So a group of people would have walked past, and Naruto and Sasuke would just be speaking kind of loud to the ramen guy, and just speaking loud in general. At the point where again, when one of them says, "Hold up, guys! Wait, did you guys hear that?" and would tell them to shh, and they would hear Naruto and Sasuke talking, and they would walk back and go, "Wait a minute, is that?" And they would open the little curtains, because you know how there's like kind of curtains that you had to go past in order to get into the ramen shop, and we would go, "No way, it's Naruto and Sasuke." And both Naruto and Sasuke would turn around and go, "Huh?" And of course, the whole entire group of the rookie, or most of the rookie nine, except for a few that are like either doing missions or just just not hanging out with them, are there. And Naruto goes, "No way! Hey guys!" And he'd be really happy and excited to see them. And of course, Hinata would also be there. And being shy Hinata, she would say something like Naruto-kun, or just Naruto or something. You know what I'm talking about. And so yeah, Naruto would see what's called Hinata, and he would blush pretty hard because now that Hinata is starting to look a lot more like his wife Hinata. You know what I'm talking about? Because this is more of a almost adult Hinata, and so it doesn't look 100% like her, or like how Naruto's used to her, but it's starting to look a lot more like her, if that makes sense. And he then remembers the embarrassing thing that he told Hinata, which is, you know, what I said earlier, and basically both of them kind of make eye contact, both of them start blushing a bit, and Sakura and Ino are there and just bumping Hinata in the shoulder, like, go talk to him now, go talk to him. And are basically bothering her to go talk to Naruto. And eventually she does, and Naruto and Hinata start talking a bit. And Sakura also starts to go talk with Sasuke, of course. And of course, they're all getting along, and everybody else are just chatting and talking about, or like basically just catching up. And they all decide to eat ramen there, and after a while, Naruto and Sasuke both say that they're a bit tired and they kind of just want to rest, or like go into their home and just rest. And all of them agree that they should get rest because it's been a while and they're probably really tired. And so they eventually get home. Of course, Naruto gets into his empty home, but to his surprise, somebody knocks on the door, and it's Hinata. And Naruto says, "Oh, hi Hinata, what are you doing here?" Like, you know. And Hinata says, "Well, I just wanted to talk for a bit." And Naruto says, "Oh, okay, we'll come in." And uh, Hinata would start talking to Naruto and would ask Naruto, "Naruto, did you mean it?" And Naruto would of course say, "Mean what? What are you talking about, Hinata?" And Hinata would say, "Well, when you left, he says something right before, and then Naruto would have like, cause he thought about it like when he first saw Hinata, but he kind of then blanked out of his mind after talking to everybody for a bit, and her saying that makes him realize how kind of embarrassing it was, and Naruto kind of looks down and says, "What if I told you it was, or what if I told you it was true?" And Hinata would kind of look up at Naruto, and like with like kind of a blush expression, also like a smile, like she really wants to like hug him at this point, but just it's kind of just like I don't know how to explain it. By the way, yeah. So that's basically at the point where they now start to basically declare their love. I guess you can say like it's not how it happened in, well, in the official, what was it called, Naruto movie. I forgot what the actual name is. It's not like that. They just basically say to each other that they like each other, and from right there and on, they start kind of dating. And let me hold up. Sorry. So, and when Sasuke gets home, he gets greeted by Itachi, and Itachi basically, hugs Sasuke and says, "It's been a long time since I've seen you. You've grown a lot. I can already sense that you've grown a lot more powerful as well, haven't you?" And Sasuke would look up at his older brother and say yes. And at this point, Sasuke is just like really happy because he never really got to experience this. He never got to experience his brother, like, what is it called? Ow. Sorry, I hit my foot on my chair because when I do these what ifs, I like walking around and talking just so it keeps my mind going. But Sasuke basically never got kind of congratulated by Itachi on his power, and all he used to remember about Itachi is Itachi saying you're too weak. But now here's Itachi saying that he's extremely strong, and at this point I'm pretty sure Sasuke would 100% be able to beat Itachi. I'm sorry, but I know we didn't get to see that much of Itachi's full power, but at this point I think Sasuke is way too strong. Cause yeah, and I think that's where I'm gonna leave out this what if. So yeah, if you guys like this video, or like the video, subscribe, all that. Um, again, I might stream, I might not stream. If I do, just watch out for the notification on either a Friday or a Saturday, and I'll still upload another what if probably at one point this week. So yeah, again, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.